Have you ever wondered how a tiny, dusty garage in Los Altos, California, turned into a multi-trillion-dollar empire? Apple's story didn't begin in a sleek glass skyscraper surrounded by corporate executives. It started in 1976 with two young tech enthusiasts who had completely different personalities but one shared vision. Steve Jobs, the charismatic visionary, and Steve Wozniak, the engineering genius. At a time when computers were massive, intimidating machines reserved strictly for universities and military laboratories. Jobs and Wozniak believed that technology should belong to everyday people. Working with a few $100s and selling their personal belongings to fund their dream, they built the Apple one by hand. Their follow-up, the Apple II, became one of the first highly successful mass-produced microcomputers. But despite early triumphs, internal friction, corporate power struggles, and fierce competition eventually pushed Steve Jobs out of his own company in 1985. For the next decade, Apple drifted without clear direction, coming dangerously close to total bankruptcy in the mid-1990s. Everything changed in 1997 when Steve Jobs made a dramatic return to a dying Apple. He immediately overhauled the product lineup, introduced the iconic, colorful iMac G3, and focused heavily on industrial design and emotional marketing. But the true turning point came in October 2001. Apple was no longer just a computer company. Steve Jobs walked onto a stage, pulled a sleek white deck of cards-sized device from his pocket, and made a bold promise: 1,000 songs in your pocket. The original iPod, combined with the iTunes Music Store, completely transformed the music industry overnight, saving it from the rampant piracy of the early internet era and turning Apple into a global pop culture titan. Yet, Apple's greatest revolution was still waiting in the wings. On January 9, 2007, Steve Jobs delivered what is widely considered the greatest product presentation in tech history. He teased three separate revolutionary products: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. Then came the legendary twist. They were not three separate devices, they were one single product. The original iPhone was unveiled. The era of physical keyboards, stylus pens, and clunky mobile software ended instantly. With its multi-touch display, smooth scrolling, and eventually the launch of the App Store in 2008, the iPhone didn't just redefine smartphones, it fundamentally reshaped human society, communication, mobile gaming, and the modern digital economy. In the years following the iPhone revolution and the tragic passing of Steve Jobs in 2011, critics repeatedly predicted the downfall of Apple under its new CEO, Tim Cook. However, Apple executed a masterclass in ecosystem integration. What keeps over 1 billion people loyal to the brand isn't just a single product. It's the seamless connection between all of them. You can copy a text snippet on your iPhone and instantly paste it onto your MacBook. You can start a document on your iPad, listen to spatial audio on your AirPods, and seamlessly track your health metrics on your Apple Watch. By designing both the hardware, the software, and custom silicon chips like the M-series processors, Apple created a digital garden so convenient that users rarely even consider leaving it. Today, Apple stands at another major historical crossroads. After dominating the smartphone, tablet, and personal computing markets for decades, the company is stepping into uncharted territory. With spatial computing through the Apple Vision Pro, deep investments in custom machine learning chips, and privacy-focused artificial intelligence, Apple is trying to define what computing will look like for the next 30 years. Critics question whether an established tech giant can continue to innovate at a rapid pace in a world dominated by fast-moving AI developments. But if history has proven anything, it's that you should never bet against Apple when it decides to reshape an industry. Apple has already rewritten the tech world's playbook multiple times, and millions of people around the globe will be watching its every move.